Good evening, brothers and sisters. Thank you, and welcome to Belvedere. A lot of Belvedere regulars and a lot of special guests. So thank you for coming. This is for special celebrating the life of Hyo Yul Peter Kim. His Seonghwa was already held in Korea, so this is a memorial service in his honor. Just to let you know, we have had a lot of requests for people who wanted to give personal testimonies of experiences with Dr. Kim. We're getting just a few. We can't allow everyone to come and speak, otherwise we'll be here a little too long. So unless you've already been informed that you're presenting, please listen to those who are. I want to welcome our family, the family and special guests. Of course, we have Mrs. Kim is here. So she's joining us, and have Injinim's family and Peter and Phyllis's children and grandchildren. That's special. And of course, we have Dr. Ki-Hun Kim and other VIPs, but I don't want to introduce everybody, partly because I don't know everybody. So anyway, let's welcome our special guests. So we'll begin with an invocation. Let's ask Pastor Bruce Grodner to come up and give an invocation.
Please join me in prayer. Our most precious, loving Heavenly Parent, we come before you this evening, as many of us have been here many times at this precious and really holy ground of the Belvedere property. I reflect upon this time that we're here to really honor our elder brother, that our lives can bring joy to the family that is here, that we can all memorialize and really celebrate the life of Dr. Hyo Yul, as many of us knew him as Mr. Peter Kim. I know for myself and for many of us, this was the Chumpadong in America. This is the place that we came and that we saw the standard of our true parents. We saw the honor, the respect that our precious brothers and sisters gave to the Kim family, Mrs. Phyllis Kim and Mr. Peter Kim. We learned about attendance through them. We saw the attitudes of the East Garden staff, and just this was really, truly the Chompadong, or even the Chompyong, for many of us in America as we came through the gates of this precious place. We know that his life was so special and so unique, and he was able to attend true parents so intimately and sincerely. And for that, we are so grateful that we had a kind of a mediator between us and our true parents. So please guide this celebration. Please be with the Kim family. Please be with Mrs. Phyllis Kim and each of the children, the grandchildren, the spouses, and just to guide this and be with us during this incredible time in which we can fellowship, come together and hear great stories, great testimonies. And for those that haven't read the book, to read his life, because it was unique and special. So we ask, Heavenly Parent, that you can join with us, and then you can be with each person as they share, as they sing, as they reflect, as they play, as they say thank you and glorify you, and really give honor and celebrate the life of Dr. Hyo Yul Kim. We want to offer this prayer in gratitude in the attendance of Holy Mother Han. And I want to offer this prayer in the name of the Grodner family, a blessed Central family. Adieu.
And now let's all stand. We'll sing one song together. Here. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. In your program, you can see there's a biography of Dr. Kim, so we're going to read that to you together. Peter Hyo Yul Kim. Dr. Peter Kim was born in 1947 in Janghoon, South Jeolla Province, Republic of Korea. He joined the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification in 1965 and began his life as a public leader, first in the field of pastoral work, then in the Family Federation Headquarters Department of Culture. In 1970, Dr. Kim was blessed in marriage with Phyllis Yamato as part of the 777 couples blessing ceremony, officiated by the late Reverend Dr. Sun Myung Moon and Dr. Hak Jahan Moon. Peter Kim received a doctorate of philosophy honoris causa from Sun Moon University in 2003. Dr. Kim joined the True Family in 1970 as a special instructor to True Children, where he tutored Hyojinim and Hungjinim in Korea. After relocating to the United States in 1974, He gradually assumed greater responsibilities as True Parents' personal assistant. He also served as staff director for East Garden and Belvedere families for 40 years. From 1990 onward, Dr. Kim served as True Parents' official English interpreter during their numerous USA and world speaking tours. In particular, Dr. Kim supported True Parents at the 1990 World Summit held in Moscow with President Mikhail Gorbachev, as well as the summit meeting in 1991 between True Parents and Premier Kim Il-sung in North Korea. In 2001, Dr. Kim interpreted for True Parents during their 50-state speaking tour in the United States. From 1994, Dr. Kim served in many executive positions. Above all, he is known and loved for his extraordinary attendance to True Parents and loving care for the members throughout the world. And I'd just like to add, anyone who has worked with him, even though we read a lot of positions he's held, but to think about being that close and that supportive of True Parents directly for all those years, there's tremendous pressure and responsibility he held. And we can all tell from working with him that he always kept a calm and loving heart with brothers and sisters, even though inside, if any of you have read his autobiography, which is really wonderful, I hope you can read it, he always starts with a humble heart and repentant that he didn't do more for True Parents. So I don't want anyone to think that that list is everything, because it's not even close. Now we're going to have a video, and then we'll continue, but let's watch the video, Memories of Peter Kim. So many wonderful memories. I'm sure many in this room were at some of those occasions as well. Before we hear our memorial address from Dr. Kim, we received a letter from Damian Dunkley, our regional president. So since you all didn't see that, I'd like to read that to you as well. Ascension message for Dr. Peter Hyo Yul Kim. Today we are here as the American movement celebrating the life of our dear elder brother, Dr. Peter Hyo Yul Kim. Dr. Kim passed away to the spirit world in Korea a few months ago, and today is our opportunity to honor him, thank him for his incredible life and legacy, share our fond memories, and show our love and support for his wife, Phyllis, Yeonshim, and the rest of the family. I wish I could be there with you in person, but I am out of the country. In my heart, I am with you, and my prayers are with you all. When we think of True Parents, Time in America, we always think of Peter Kim. He has been with True Parents for so many years, always present, translating for True Parents, traveling with True Parents. For so long, Peter Kim was part of our American family. He and Phyllis were also part of the Belvedere community, known and loved by everyone. I had the pleasure of meeting Phyllis recently in New York, and it was a lovely time to catch up and share some time together. We've missed you here in America, but we're happy you are here now. You're here now, Phyllis, and we are happy that we can share this evening together in memory of your beloved husband. Dr. Peter Kim is one of the most respected elders. He is among the close disciples who have walked the path with True Parents. His life story is remarkable. If you haven't read his memoir, I encourage you to do so and remember him as one of our great apostles, whose story is part of our Unification Book of Acts. We are fortunate that we know Peter Kim as an elder brother and as a member of our American family as well. We are grateful that he left us his book to read and learn from about his life with True Parents, giving us another glimpse of how much they have invested for the sake of our Heavenly Parent and world. Dear Peter Kim, you have been in spirit world for a few months now. We can imagine you working closely alongside True Father again. Today, we want to take the time to remember you and honor you and your family. We want to thank you again for your legacy of love, for teaching us how to attend True Parents, and for representing us in front of them so many times. We offer you our deep love and respect and gratitude. Thank you, with blessings and love, Reverend Damian Dunkley, Regional President. Thank you. And now, I'd like to invite for the main address for our memorial offering, our regional, the president of Chun Shim Won USA, Dr. Ki-Hun Kim.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, my condolences to Mrs. Kim and family members here. At the same time, whenever we're thinking of Mr. Peter Kim's lifelong dedication for the sake of true parents and true family, we should congratulate to his lifelong service. Early this year, January 3rd, True Mother came to New York East Garden and long time. And then True Mother mentioned before American leaders and America as elder sons nation and your responsibilities are more than importance than Korea herself and Japanese herself. So this is a True Mother express about how true parents went through this country, America, for 40 years for the sake of this country as a God-centered country and God-blessed country. And more than anyone else in American church history, our unification movement, Reverend and Dr. Mr. Peter Kim, always front line more than anyone else with a true parent and true family. And how can we share all Mr. Kim's lifelong journey with the true parents, just hour, and we remember him so long time and so many things. And we read about his autobiography and how his whole life for the sake of true parents and true family and our church activities. He joined our church 1965, and I joined church 1965 when I was 12 years old. And he was just 17 years old, and he joined and he came to Seoul, our headquarter department. And he worked over there as a young boy after graduate high school and our culture department. That time our headquarter culture department, no computer, no mobile phone, and anything. So I heard his major job is helping and supporting, writing articles, Unification Church History and Unification World Monthly Magazine. At the same time, he took care of true children. And I was living with my aunt, Cheongpa-dong headquarter church. So I've been almost every day we passing by together here and there. And my aunt also taught many true children's piano classes. So always I've been with him together early days, 1965 and 70. Yes, and that time I remember so many people around him and headquarter officers, and they told, sharing about Mr. Peter Kim is a genius. Genius. Nobody, 17 years old boys staying with the headquarter and supporting headquarter administration at the same time through family. So I really admire, even though he was a young boy, and however he had so many talented for the sake of our church movement, the early age. How blessed. And he joined the church early, and he served his whole life for the sake of church. So many times, here and there, I remembered about Mr. Peter Kim. In his autobiography, he shared a lot of part. He shared about the true parents' Danbury course and meeting with the chairman, Kim Il-sung, with the true parents and Gorbachev. And this is all Unification Church history, incredible, remarkable foundation for the sake of true parents, world peace activities and movement. So this will be all remember, even our upcoming generations, how true father and true mother together and meeting with this head of communist country. So this is another turning point. Reverend and Dr. and Mr. Peter Kim lay down foundation, turning point for the sake of our worldwide peace activities. Second time I met Peter Kim every day at the UTS. We went to UTS together, same class. And sometimes we discuss how to write this class homework and thesis. And we've been discussing so many things, so many ways. And then more than anything else, I remember all the time we took time work together, take a walk together through Father's trail, especially if they have true Mother's trail and true Father's trail. But through Father's trail, I think we working together, shoulder to shoulder, almost every day whenever he stayed at UTS. And he shared, how he determined to join our church and how he became service for the sake of true parents and true family. Even myself, I share about how I joined early ages because my aunt was kind of a founding member long time, and then she graduated Ihwa Union's ministry and specialty about the piano. Before that university, things happened. My aunt graduated and then tried to dedicate her life for the sake of true parents and our church activities. My family, everybody called my aunt is crazy women. After she joined the Unification Church, he forget everything, family and her job, government highest job, and all kind her specialty. And from our family escaped from Jeongju, same town, through father's village, same time, Mr. Yu's village in Jeongju. And then only a few people survived throughout that escaping from communist country and North Korea. And this is another big memory with Mr. Peter Kim, and I could hear about his early days and his commitment until last day for the sake of our church and true parents. And more than anything else, and he went out with the true parents, 50 state speaking tour, of course, and also worldwide speaking tour as well. And many people just remember he went out with the true parents speaking tour, but also he took time with the true mothers special speaking tour here, United States of America. And when he came with the true mother to Chicago, and he always preparing about the early morning hundoke together with the true mother. And one time, and 5 a.m. hundoke, and true mother stayed downtown Hilton Hotel, and our congressman, Danny Davis, even he came 5 a.m. hundoke and small gathering with the true mother, one breakfast dining table. And then I remember, and Reverend Peter Kim shared so many things about the true parents worldwide, world peace activities, as well as 50 state our speaking tour as well. And this is Reverend Peter Kim, how much he spent time with the true parents and time with family members around the nation and around the world. And always he's the first person woke up and preparing room for hundoke and seating arrangement as well. So this is his personal life. Think about what happened after he went to spirit world. Lately, Reverend Ki Sung-lee, Chun Shimon President Korea, and he received a lot of revelation, and through others and just himself. And how he's working in the spirit world with the true Father, attending and serve for the sake of true parents and true family is kind of his specialty here on earth as well as spirit world. And then he appeared, not only Reverend Kisong-ni and many Chunshimon 40 days workshop participants, and how to you have to serve for the sake of true Mother, only begotten daughter, Holy Mother Han. And there are 40 days workshop, how to attending. And this over 40, our second generations. Now, next 40 days, they're going every day, Cheononggung, and they really touch corner to corner and cleaning and wipe away many kind of dust or over there, or welcoming true mother and true mother's guests from around the world. So he's a busy man. Not only here, even up spirit world. So when I met Phyllis Kim, and last year Christmas time, that funeral home, I was there and greeting Peter Kim, and then after that I met Mrs. Kim, and I was surprising what she told me first things. Oh, Bishop Kim, when I go back to state, let's go visit the church together. That is her first commitment. So I can see, I can feel how much true Father in the spirit world, true Mother on earth, suffering because of Christianity. So only begotten daughter is not a foundation from foundation 70 years our church. This outcome came from 2,000 years Christian history. True Mother mentioned every occasion, public speeches about this matter. So how we could understand true Mother's heart about the Christianity, only begotten daughter's providence. And also we honor Las Vegas Family Church. She stopped by just one day and shared about her life and how she was excited, and they all 40 days, second generations workshop people gathered together Sunday service, and then Reverend Mrs. Phyllis came twice. He came up the stage, and then she shared about how excited Peter Kim in the spirit world with the true Father and true Mother here, raising this coming generation, second generation's commitment for the sake of spiritual related church works. This is today true Mother's providence, centering on Chunshimon providence. She shared, Mrs. Phyllis shared how much true parents looking for this day and for the sake of true Mother's providence and a coming Cheononggung victorious entrance ceremony. So we are so grateful. We're celebrating his lifelong service for the sake of true parents, true family, and brothers and sisters all around the Blessed Central family community. Once again, thank you, Mr. Peter Kim, your lifelong service and great dedication you show us your model for the sake of upcoming generation as well. Heavenly Parent and true parents, bless you and Mrs. Kim and your family. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Kim. Very meaningful. So now we're going, excuse me. Now we're going to have some testimonies. Now, I'll explain first that a lot of people in this room had personal experiences with Peter Kim. And a lot of people would like to come up here and speak. But in order to keep it contained, we're just going to have a few. First of all, we're going to have a video from 4 different people. From Insupnim, from Mike and Rayco Jenkins, from Farley and Betsy Jones, and from Gerard Willis, four very special people, elders who had experiences with him. And then we'll have just a couple of people already chosen, so don't raise your hand. We have a lot of experiences with our conferences with clergy, and once they get the microphone in their hand, the evening is done. So I'd like to have our tech department offer a video from 4 different testimonies. First from Insupnim.
Thank you all for taking the time in your busy schedules to honor our precious Mr. Peter Kim. Mrs. Kim called me a few days ago and asked me to share a few words to remember Mr. Kim during this memorial service, and it is my tremendous honor to do so. Having been close to Mr. and Mrs. Kim for nearly 30 years, and even working with them directly on many different occasions, especially most recently with the Cheonilguk Constitution and Cheonilguk Supreme Council, I can say that we have gotten to know him fairly well. If you spend that much time with anyone, one can start to slowly understand the values and principles by which that person lived his life. So I would like to share some of those core values that I think Mr. Kim lived by and stood for, and I'm sure many of you will agree. First of all, he embodied absolute faith, love, and loyalty to true parents. He and his family dedicated their whole lives, literally 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for decades and decades for true parents. As you know, he was there side by side with true parents during many of their critical providential and historical victories, as well as many unimaginable and challenges and difficulties. However, he was not simply a person that stayed hidden where there were challenges. He would stand up for the sake of true parents and the movement, even at the risk of his own position or even banishment. He was definitely a steadfast son of true parents and really embodied his given Western name of Peter, the Rock. Second, he had the highest standards as a public servant and leader. I was always impressed by how Mr. Kim never took advantage of his close position with true parents, but was the embodiment of prudent and responsible leadership. He supported many leaders and members to build closer relationship with true parents and was a real conduit of building bridges to true parents, not only with his translation, but helping leaders when they had to report to true parents directly. Third, he had unconditional love for true children. By default, he was put in a very important but nearly impossible position of trying to support true children on behalf of true parents on many occasions. But given the many layers of complexity, as well as sheer number of family members, this task was very difficult. I've witnessed a lot of the ups and downs, but there was always love, care, and deep hope behind all of his actions. In the end, he and Mrs. Kim have always shown unconditional love and support for true children, the way that God and true parents have lived unconditionally for all of humanity. For that, I am deeply grateful for giving me and others that unconditional love. Fourth, he was always thinking about the future of the movement and how we can unite with true father and true mother and keep the body of the movement whole and not divided and moving forward with unity and strength together. So finally, I want to appreciate Mrs. Kim, Yunshim, and Jinseo as well, and his grandchildren for all their love for Mr. Kim. As the saying goes, behind every great man is a greater family, and we are grateful to them for their love and sacrifice as well. And we know it wasn't an easy to be in that position. On a personal note, when I was having many difficulties early on in our blessing, Mrs. Kim was there for us in those early years, supporting our relationship, which we will always be grateful for. So we know Mr. Kim loved God, true father, true mother, true children, and the worldwide global family, humanity, really deeply with all his heart, soul, and being. And I hope that we can honor him by inheriting these values and hope it can endure through all of us. So may God and true parents bless all of you, and thank you again for all your love for Mr. Kim and his family. God bless you.
Phyllis, Yunshim, Jinsa, your family, we know you suffered a great loss. We're sorry for Peter's passing, but of course we know he's now in a wonderful, glorious realm. When I think of Peter, I think of a person of remarkable grace and humility, competence, dignity, a wonderful combination of all those qualities. And we know that he brought all that to his service, a remarkable, unique service to true parents. And such a great role he played for them, and played it in a way that never seemed pretentious or self-important. Wonderful man. We were all blessed by knowing him, and we'll miss him. We know you miss him. We're thinking of you and send you our love.
I want to add that Peter is a man of heart, and I experienced, as so many did, his warmth and his balance and his brotherly love is so profound. I know he is a man that's been loved by God throughout his life, and his family has loved him abundantly. And he goes into the spirit world with such a treasure. And I know you on earth will, especially Phyllis, what you and Peter did together is an outstanding example of what a blessed couple can be. And we thank you and we honor you both. Thank you.
God bless.
Dear brothers and sisters, like most of you, I've known of Dr. Peter Kim for most of my life, but my personal relationship with him began 23 years ago. For reasons I will never understand, upon meeting me at Hanam-dong House in Korea, Dr. Kim pulled me into his life. Since then, I came to know Dr. Kim both professionally and personally. And all that time, in every interaction I had with him, I came away refreshed and uplifted. But until recently, I never realized why that was. And that is the point of this short testimony. We all aspire to become like the true parents in heart and character. But the more I came to understand the depth and breadth of who they are, the less confident I became of ever achieving that aspiration. The greatest gift Peter gave to me was a real concrete example of what a follower of Reverend Moon could become. And it is pretty amazing. As true parents' constant companion for 40 years, I do not believe that anyone except perhaps Mrs. Wonju McDivitt spent as much time with the true parents as Dr. Kim did. With only a few breaks to attend a local college in Tarrytown, and later as a seminarian in Barrytown, Peter attended almost every prayer meeting, every talk, every breakfast meeting, over which true parents carried on the business of the day, and every trip whenever and wherever true parents traveled the world. He accompanied true parents on their breakthrough visit to North Korea. He took an apartment across the street from Danbury Prison so that he could be with Reverend Moon every day. He carried True Mother on his back to safety through the mud, moments before the helicopter in which they were traveling exploded after crashing. He presided over True Father's Songhwa ceremony, speaking last words over True Father as he lay in state in Cheonilguk Palace. And for 3 years following Reverend Moon's ascension in 2012, Peter was the most senior leader of our worldwide church under True Mother. Dr. Charles Yang, a close disciple of True Parents, wrote in a foreword to Peter Kim's recently published autobiography that Peter Kim embodied, quote, all the virtues a leader should possess, including filial piety, loyalty, integrity, faith, wisdom, determination, justice, dedication, tolerance, and sincerity, unquote. To these, I would add from personal experience, constancy, compassion, equanimity, humor, warmth, kindness, generosity, selflessness, honor, and great dignity. That Dr. Peter Kim, a man of ordinary birth like you and I, could come to embody all of these virtues gives me hope that likewise, attending, following, supporting, and defending our true parents, we too can become people who could do so. So thank you, Peter, for your life of unconditional attendance on our true parents, for the example you gave us of what it means to attend the true parents, and for the hope you instill in us that we too can live a life of faith, obedience, and love. Adieu.
Hello, everybody. This is Michael and Reiko Jenkins. We're really honored to be part of this memorial for the Kim family, as for Dr. Peter Kim, who went to heaven, and to Phyllis, our beloved sister, and to Yunshin and also Jinshaw. We're very grateful for your family and your dad and all that happened. Peter was really the bridge between true parents and the American movement. All our countries, Africa, Asia, Korea, Japan, Americans, Europeans, everybody was here in America. But everybody felt love from true parents, and especially Peter Kim translating, bringing Father's words into English with such skill, with such a thoughtful mind and heart. We were really also grateful the way he taught us how to really serve and attend true parents. I never forget how great it was to be part of the victories of true parents. And Peter played such a key role in that. The thing I learned about Peter was he's so loyal to Father, so loyal to Mother. He loved all true children. He did his best for all of us. Peter also was the person that would bring Father's words and Mother's words from Korean into English. That's not an easy thing to do. He would assemble the words of Father. Father would give speeches, and then Peter would be asked to formulate Father's speech from those, and he worked on it so hard. But he had such an ability to understand history, to understand the divine principle, to understand the Bible, to understand also the providence. And he conveyed so well to the Christian ministers, to the VIPs of the country, the congressmen, the senators. We were at Capitol Hill. We went everywhere. And Peter was the one that could really bring the heart of true parents to us in such a way. Also, when things were not easy, we as Americans are often, it's not easy to understand. Many things in God's providence are in the international field of understanding Asian culture, Korean culture. Peter made it so that it was really possible for us to have a much deeper heart and understanding for Father and Mother. It really helped a lot. I'm just so grateful for our time together. And the thing that I learned from Peter was how to attend True Mother. So when we had the tours with Mother, the speaking tours, Peter really knew how to really take care of Mother in a way that really helped her to have everything in order so that Mother could focus on giving her message. Peter always brought such a joy to true parents, a joy to us, but he also was really serious about the providence. He really understand the urgent heart of true parents to save America, save the world. But all throughout the time in America, I have to thank Peter and Phyllis for your love for us, for your care. But I felt that Peter's love and Phyllis's love for America was unchanging. So when we didn't do as well as we should, Peter was always there trying to help bring the best offering to true parents for us. That's what I never can forget that. Peter had an ability to translate even the new providences that were unfolding in a way that really was very comfortable for the Western world, Europe, and the whole world to understand. So I'm indebted to Dr. Peter Kim and to Phyllis and your family. We really, really, truly love you. Phyllis, congratulations for a victorious, blessed family, for your beautiful history. Everyone honors you. And Reiko and I want to say together, Kamsahamnida. 1, 2, 3. Kamsahamnida.
Thank you. Now we have just two live human beings to come say a few words. That was wonderful, though, wasn't it? So, as mentioned, Peter Kim was the head of the Belvedere and East Garden work here for about 40 years. And there are many East Garden and Belvedere staff here. Everyone would have dozens of stories to tell, but we're going to limit it. So representing all of them, the head of East Garden and of course, Mrs. Phyllis Kim was the mama for East Garden and Belvedere staff. We have her here with us, but the head of the staff and all the projects, many projects, was Mike Jenkins. Mike McDevitt, we just saw Mike Jenkins. Mike McDevitt, sorry.
I guess Mike Jenkins was on his mind. Mrs. Kim, Yunshim. I'm flattered and honored to be the first human being to speak up here, and Mrs. Kim asked me to give a testimony. I made some prepared things, but I don't think I'm going to refer to this. I first met him. I reflect on my first encounter with him. It was late 1974, I think. November, December. I was on the security staff, and I was going into the doorway of the kitchen of the old house at East Garden, which is now the museum, which is now my office, where I go every day. So I'm going in this door every day. That's where I first encountered him. It was the day after he arrived. And I'll never forget that smile, that warm smile. And he said, "Hi, I'm Mr. Kim," or "I am Mr. Kim," with that smile. And I said, "Oh, nice to meet you. I'm Mike. I'm with the security team here." I'll never forget that smile because it reflected the sincere, warm heart inside. I didn't know him. I didn't know, at that time, the only Korean men were the elders, like President Kim, and David Kim was here, of course, and Colonel Han. So he was a younger generation. I think he was 27, according to my calculation, and I was 21, so. He came to assist with the True family and True parents, and we interacted a little bit, but not too much. But it was in 1977. Well, back up a little bit. Mother did tell him to teach Korean to our staff, so we met in the basement of the old house, and Mrs. Kim, we had breakfast together, the staff, and Peter Kim started having Korean classes. So I learned the Korean alphabet from Peter Kim. And a few phrases we all did. I remember those days. And then later, in 1977, was in the history of our operation here, Father called the East Garden and core Belvedere staff members in May. Naoko-san is here. It's May 13th, to be precise. And he merged the two properties and operation into one. East Garden being the more internal, Belvedere being the more external, and the staff under one. And he said to organize, there was 3 basic functions. Security was paramount then. All the building maintenance, grounds, vehicles, and administrative, financial, HR, whatever there was HR back then. And that's when he appointed Mr. Kim as the central figure director, and he told David Kim to go up to Berrytown to attend to the seminary. So from that point forward, he was our boss, our central figure. And you know, we interacted, and Mother told him to make his office in the basement of the old house. And we interacted every day. And back then, the financial system was not really sophisticated. It wasn't a salary system. It was like missionary. So we had to get everything approved. So we're constantly interacting with him. And he doesn't, is he from the countryside in Korea, I think? He doesn't understand plumbing systems or electrical systems, right? Mike Wyatt and Ian can testify to that. Or security sometimes is hard to understand. So we interacted every day. And it wasn't smooth all the time. It was sometimes difficult, but you grew to appreciate this man because of the integrity of his heart and the integrity and the absolute attendance, the attitude of attending God and true parents and the true family. Over time, it starts to get, you learn, you like osmosis, you start picking these things up, right, over time. And so then you fast forward into the 80s, he goes up to Danbury, and the other thing he did was he supervised the construction of the New Hope Farms Equestrian Center in Deer Park, and of course, the seminary. So he was starting to get pulled away, and Mrs. Kim filled in for him brilliantly, I can say. And then it was around 1990s, Colonel Hahn was Father's special assistant at that time, and you remember him translating. Father sent Colonel Hahn on to Ilhwa, and Peter started becoming the translator. So I'm on the history committee working on a chronology that's available. It's going to be available very soon. And I calculated, I looked today, Peter Kim's first recorded translation of Father's Sunday speech was in 1990, March 1. Father's last speech on this the stage was over here, but Father's last speech was in 2002, May 5th. In between that time, there were 153 speeches that Father gave that he translated. And that's not easy, as Mike Jenkins, expressed. But Mr. Kim, he's always Mr. Kim to me, and that's a term of endearment, tell me. And it was that smile that I remember. He had a brilliant mind, and he was always pushing himself to master English, the English language. So he would read novels, traditional novels like To Kill a Mockingbird and things like that. He liked John Grisham novels, the lawyer turned author. He liked those, and we would talk about it in his office over there. And he would ask me questions about English grammar that I couldn't even answer, And he got his undergraduate degree from Mercy College in Dobbs Ferry. It's all, of course, English classes, right? And I guess UTS is all English classes. So I think he was preparing. God was helping him, pushing him to prepare himself to master English, because translating, as you can, as I saw in the foreword, I think Gerald, one of them quoted Dr. Yang, Changshik Yang. Peter Kim had a brilliant mind, excellent writing skills, and as true parent speechwriter, the ability to get into their hearts and their minds. His soul was completely united as one with Father. And he took it very seriously, I remember, to make sure that you got it, what Father is saying. not only in the public setting, but we had many encounters with true parents at East Garden. He took it very seriously to make sure that we understood what father and mother were saying. So those are some of my memories, but you know, it was what I call his pastoral heart, his care for members, and he would go to the earth's ends for someone's spiritual life if they were struggling, and we had all kinds of problems, you know, so many. When we were younger, you know, he would go to hell and back for someone's spiritual life because of that pastoral heart. And it was like, because of his faith and his integrity of faith, it was like granite, like his name, Peter, the rock. It was like a granite mountain. And I tell you, in those days, spiritually, we felt safe, very safe spiritually because of him and Mrs. Kim. So I'll tell you one anecdote before I end. We were in Korea, must have been 1979, 1980. He brought, I think, Hongjin there. And we went to Chungcheon. Before anything was developed, it was just the training center. And True Parents had a little tiny apartment on the north end of that building. And fathers like to walk back in the hills. There was nothing developed, only the training center. And there were actually villages and houses back up in there. And so we walked back up there and walking. It was like a trail, big enough maybe for one of those Korean farm tractors, you know. And you see this boy walking, leading a cow, followed by a halabaji, you know, grandfather following him. And there's like a little village over here and houses. And Mr. Kim says to me, he says, you know, Mike, what I'd really like to do? I said, well, what? What's that, Mr. Kim? I'd like to be the pastor of a small church in a small village and just take care of people. That's so. So I said, well, I can't remember what I said, but I said, I don't think that's going to happen, Mr. Kim, because True Parents have bigger plans for you. So anyway, that's when somebody, it's always difficult when somebody, you know, ascends and goes to the spirit world. But when you have such a long relationship with them, a loving relationship, I believe they take part of us with them. And in that way, we're resurrected to the extent of that love relationship. And he's definitely like that. So Mr. Kim is definitely a man who deserves to be honored in the kingdom of heaven. That's my reflection. So, thank you.
Very special. You know, Mike McDevitt, he's also made a big sacrifice in offering his beloved wife to be True Mother's special assistant. So he rarely sees her. He talks about 1974. In 1974, Mike and I were both here at Belvedere leadership training. And he got pulled for what was supposed to be a few months for security and has been here ever since. Long 3 months. We have one more special guest representing True Family to give a few words. Let's all welcome Injinim.
Good evening, everybody. So good to see you. And so good to be with Phyllis and Yunchim and her husband and Mr. Kim's grandkids. I am truly honored to be invited to celebrate this wonderful man that we call affectionately Mr. Kim Chi. As you know, in Korea, a meal is not a meal without kimchi. And so for those of us who grew up in the True family, Mr. Kim is that kimchi that makes everything taste better. And so when I reflect on my life with him, and just like Bishop Kim, who joined 1965, Mr. Kim also joined 1965. I also joined 1965. And so it's been a long 60 years. And Peter Kim and Phyllis and the True family, we went through a lot together. But one thing that I really appreciate about Mr. Kimchi is that his love for our Heavenly Parent and true parents was absolute. I have seen many good members come and go throughout 60 years of my life. I've seen many leaders do extraordinary things. I've seen many brothers and sisters accomplish great victories and share also a lot of difficulties along the way. But I have never met a brother and a leader and a mentor quite like Peter Kim. Just as Insup, my brother-in-law, mentioned, Peter Kim, yes, he was like the rock, but more important than being a rock, as Mike just mentioned, and we used to have a nickname for you too, right? We used to call you Strawberry, because every time father and mother made you laugh or embarrassed, your whole face would turn red, and it would leave mother in stitches, and so he was affectionately called Strawberry. But Mr. Kim was this amazing person who was absolutely dedicated in his heart and in his devotion and in his love for our true parents and also for the true children and true family. And one of the things that I learned from him was to never stop being happy that we've met the Messiah, that we've met the true parents. And many times we cried together, many times we faced difficulty together, but he said, Injinim, we're living in the time of true parents. We're living with the Messiah. And I used to jokingly say, yeah, and you get to translate for the Messiah. What an amazing, amazing accomplishment. And so, just like Mike, Strawberry, in your journey, you've had to sacrifice your family, your wife, perhaps personal desires. Phyllis also, I am sure, she had personal desires and probably wanting to be with Mr. Kim all the time, but I am so sorry that we took your husband away many times and you had to sacrifice his time because he was serving true parents and also he was doing his best to hold the true family together, to hold the true children together. And so for that, I am just extremely grateful. And I want to learn from Mr. Kim's ability to always be happy in the moment, always be grateful in the moment, in realizing that we're living through extraordinary times, We get to serve our true parents, fathers in spirit world, and we have our true mother here who is working so hard. And what a blessing it is that we get to walk this road together with them. And so when I first heard the news that Peter Kim ascended, of course I was very, very happy for him because now he can be with our true Father, who he loved dearly. But at the same time, I felt a little bit sad. And many nights I offered prayer for Peter Kim. And the beautiful thing was one day I went to bed struggling about certain things. And I woke up to this beautiful dream, and I was literally in tears. And I missed Mr. Kim very much. And in the dream, we were in this incredibly large building, and everybody was waiting for our true mother to arrive. And so we're waiting for the car to pull up. People were lined up, ready to greet her. She came out of the car. She was wearing a beautiful hanbok made of lace, which I have never seen before. And the undergarment was gold. And so I took her to her room, and I bowed to her, and I said, I'm going to go greet Father now. And so she said, yeah, go, go, go. And I'm not going to tell you all my dream, the complete dream, but I want to share with you the parts about Peter Kim. And so I was walking through this corridor, and just felt like an endless hallway. And I was just following this hallway of this huge building, and then I heard some voices coming out. And I could hear that it was the voice between the leaders and True Father, and so that's where I started walking towards. And then somebody just flung open the door, came out, and it was Peter Kim. And he was so young. He was so beautiful, almost like the light shining forth from his face. And he had that beautiful smile that made me feel like everything's going to be okay. And he came out of the room and he said, Injinim, Father is so amazing. True Father is so amazing. And he just, like, you have to hurry, hurry, hurry. Go, go, go. Father's expecting you. And so that, you know, when you really miss somebody and you have a dream about somebody, you feel like it's a gift. But this was more than a gift. This was him reminding me how excited he is to be serving our true Father now up in heaven. How excited I should be, right? Serving our true parents and our larger community, each other. And so there was other parts of the dream that was really meant for me that I will not share. But I was left with this incredible emotion and just the comfort in knowing that Mr. Kim was with our Heavenly Parent, he was with Father, and he was so excited to be with True Father. And so I just woke up crying. And so when Phyllis and I talked on the phone, it was one of those things that I wanted to share with her because Mr. Kim is in good hands. And just as he reminded me, our True Father is so amazing. And I know that just as True Mother is doing her best, right? True Father is working day and night. And guess what? Mr. Kim is right there with him. So I was so grateful for that dream. And so he is really a reminder of being grateful for the moment. And be grateful that we are living through extraordinary times. And extraordinary times means sometimes it will be really awesome, and sometimes it will be really challenging. But Mr. Kim always was very good about going back to the basics. You know, what's our basics? It's God, our Heavenly Parent, true parents. The most important thing is raising a good family. And Mr. Kim and Phyllis have a beautiful family in Yeonshim, and her husband. And I know that Mr. Kim loves them so much. And he was always so proud of his grandkids too. So always sharing a little news about how they're doing. And so I am so grateful for everything that Mr. Kim was to our community. And I am so grateful for always being that rock or that elder brother or that mentor. And I gave him some tough time. We butted heads a lot. But I really respect a man who does not change according to his position. You can put Mr. Kim anywhere, and he will not change. Mr. Kim will always be Mr. Kim, and Phyllis will always be Phyllis. And so when we first came to the United States, Phyllis was our English teacher, and we didn't want to go to class. And so many times we would strategize, how can we get away and not attend class that Phyllis was teaching? And so many times she had to get on the bike and try to find us all over East Garden. And we were hiding in the bushes, we were hiding in the gazebo. We wanted to surprise her and make her fall down, and we were awful. But she never gave up on us. And she always said, you have to learn the language. You have to learn. And not only did she teach us English, she taught us all the Disney songs. So even now, to the dismay of my husband, I can still sing Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious and all those wonderful Disney songs that just will not leave my head. But really, it's an honor for me to have known Peter Kim and his really urgent request, even in his passing, to really do what I can do to keep the family, the true family, the first family of the Messiah, to unite it together. That was his fervent wish, right? He said, please, Engineer, please do whatever you can to bring your family together. And so that has been his consistent request and his last request, and I want to honor that with my life and with living a life of gratitude and living a life of service in the ways that we do. And so this evening is very special because I get to see Mike McDivitt again. I get to see Raoul over there. I get to see Stevanie. I get to see Tom here and lots of people. And Paul, I see you, Paul, who have been an amazing brother to the East Garden community. And so it's really a celebration of Peter Kim's life, but it's also a chance for true family to say thank you, and especially to Mr. Kim and Phyllis, thank you for always being there for us, always being so optimistic and so encouraging, and for never giving up on any of us, starting with a true family. And so I find that amazingly beautiful. And I feel that really the work of salvation is to give everybody hope of finding a way to true parents and finding their way to heavenly parents. And so Mr. Kim lived his life just like that. So I want to honor him. I had to apologize. The traffic was a little bit heavy, so I didn't want to be late. But he is an amazing servant of God, and I know that he is in a great place. and in good hands with our true Father up in heaven, working harder than before. So, Bishop Kim, you better continue to work hard. Don't leave everything to Peter Kim. So now that you're the director of what is it, Chunchimwan in U.S., you have a great deal of responsibility, and so please know that our prayers are with you, with each and every one of you, and I am sure that Mr. Kim would want all of you to have a fantastic, fantastic year. So thank you once again for being a part of the community and for always being there for our true parents and true family. And this is really our chance to say thank you.
That was really wonderful. So many great testimonies, but we saved the best for last. Thank you, Engineer. And Mike McDivitt was close to the best, right next to him. When Mike and I first met, we both had hair. It's a long time ago. Now we want to give everyone a chance to personally greet and respect and honor Peter Kim by doing a flower offering. So the way we'll do it is the front row, the family and VIPs will offer first. And then, just to be clear, what I want to do is have everyone come all the way across, row by row, get their flower from the ushers, and then go across and come back around again. Otherwise, we'll have a traffic jam. So we'll go around both sides, around and through, and greet Peter Kim. Thank you. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you that you had the opportunity to present to Peter Kim directly. And next in our program, we have a musical offering representing Mrs. Kim's side of the family. Her sister, Yasuko, is going to play a musical offering for us.
Yeah, for Peter Kim's second Songkwa ceremony, I'm happy to offer music. And Father always said, find something that you really love. Thank goodness I had music. And this, when I'm happy with whatever I'm composing, I want to share the Crown of Glory, the poem. I'm going to, first time, be able to share that with you.
Thank you so much, MJ Yasuko Tashiro, for that wonderful performance. And it wasn't just the performance, that is her own composition being offered to God and true parents and to Mr. Kim today. We understand. Well, thank you so much. Ingenim, Ben, Eric, Mrs. Kim, and family. You probably saw that there are co-MCs to this event. Mrs. Kim graciously designated Steve Honey and myself as co-MCs. And I was a no-show for part of the night because I'm on a little healthcare journey myself, and one of my treatments got extended out. And I only mention that because our brother, Mr. Kim, also faced a healthcare challenge. And I just want to say that, to me, he is such an inspiration. And the way that he met that challenge, the attitude that he had, the spirit that he always exhibited whenever I saw him. So for me, it's very personally inspiring, but I think it's also important for all of us to, take note of that kind of attitude and that kind of heart. So I do appreciate it, and it's a great honor to even be part of this memorial service. Now, Yasuko-san mentioned Crown of Glory. And when we were thinking through the program, getting ready for tonight, we decided, we got inspired to use Crown of Glory as our scriptural reading. And largely because of the remarkable story about the Crown of Glory poem that is found in Mr. Kim's memoir. And if you've read the memoir, you know the story already. But if you haven't, it's a truly remarkable story. This poem was kind of in obscurity and unnoticed until 1990. And I think Mike McDivitt mentioned Mr. Kim's first translation was 1990. So it was shortly after that time, he was in the Pasadena Center, and he noticed this poem, Crown of Glory, posted on a bulletin board and attributed to True Father. And it was unknown, and no one had celebrated this at all. And so he inquired to the people there where this came from. Nobody was quite sure. It resonated so deeply in his heart, he says in the memoir, that he could feel that it really came from Father. And he translated it into Korean. But of course, it still remained to take that final step and to confirm with Father the authorship of the poem. And so he writes in the memoir that he reported to Father that he found the poem and that Father commented, "I did write such a poem back then." And since this time, of course, it's been, celebrated and appreciated, and it's so profound. And Dr. Pak even entered it into the World Poetry Contest of the International Association of Poets, where it won a grand prize in 2001. And we know how much heart and soul and artistry is in these simple lines. So our scriptural reading tonight is the poem Crown of Glory, which will be read by our Belvedere family community pastor, Mr. Reverend Justin Okamoto.
Thank you. So yeah, it's really a blessing to be able to read this poem in honor of Dr. Kim, and let's read this amazing poem from our true Father. Crown of Glory. When I doubt people, I feel pain. When I judge people, it is unbearable. When I hate people, there is no value to my existence. Yet, if I believe, I am deceived. If I love, I am betrayed. Suffering and grieving tonight, my head in my hands. Am I wrong? Yes, I am wrong. Even though we are deceived, still believe. Though we are betrayed, still forgive. Love completely, even those who hate you. Wipe your tears away and welcome with a smile those who know nothing but deceit, and those who betray without regret. O Master, the pain of loving, Look at my hands. Place your hand on my chest. My heart is bursting, such agony. But when I loved those who acted against me, I brought victory. If you have done the same things, I will give you the crown of glory. By our true Father.
So much heart and content in just relatively few words. What God feels for us. Now, as we're coming closer to the close, we only have 3 more greetings, 3 more testimonies, but this is from Peter Kim's family. So we're going to have Brandon and Jinsa as a brother-in-law, son-in-law, and last but not least, of course, is Mrs. Phyllis Kim. Let's welcome Brandon.
I honestly felt a bit gimmicky coming up here. I had to ask myself, what is the purpose? My grandfather isn't here to hear his praise. Even if he was, I'm not sure he would want it, humble as he was. My initial instinct was that I could just remember and honor his life privately. All of the life lessons, fun moments, and cherished memories. However, that would help only myself. If I'm to really honor my grandfather, I have to live as he taught and help others. Help people grow into the best versions of themselves. In this instance, I can do that by sharing some of his mantras as I've interpreted being his grandson. Hopefully you can take something from it, share with others, and his goodness will spread like many times before. What was the first mantra that comes to mind? Definitely making a life chart. This was something that he preached to me endlessly every time I saw him. Now I find myself incredibly curious to what his looked like. I've never seen a person respected so much in a room and just surrounded by so much love. So I can't imagine what his life chart looked like. I found that personally having those long-term goals, just have everything plotted out, really makes you happy because every day there's something to strive towards. So that's the first thing I would say that I've taken from him and try to give to those around me. The second mantra is a core tenet of, I believe, church philosophy: give without expectation of taking. This was something he mentioned to me much less than life chart, but something he displayed endlessly. Actually, the other day, I made a joke with my siblings, saying that I was the least spoiled out of the 3 of us. At least it was half a joke. In truth, my grandfather spoiled all 3 of us, nearly rotten. He would just give, and almost nothing was expected in return. Just our growth and development as people. It's really that selflessness that I haven't seen much in life. I could say less than a handful of people. So that is another core tenet that I hope we can all embody more and spread. Though there are possibly infinite in the effort of getting everyone home at a reasonable hour, here is the final mantra my grandfather bestowed upon me. Be grateful. Not once in my entire life did I hear my grandfather complain, which is insane to me. I can't even visualize it. Even in his sickest hours, close to his passing, his first question to me always was, how is I doing? One of his last remarks to my grandmother, I believe, and mother, was to give thanks to the people that helped him at the hospital in Korea. How impossible is that? I can't even fathom. And so at this memorial, I hope we can all choose to follow in his footsteps and be grateful, appreciating my grandfather's life, not wallow and live similar to him. I think that's what he would have wanted. Thank you.
Let's welcome Jinsa.
I don't know if I could follow that. Oh my goodness. I actually want to talk to you about his humanity. Because throughout the night, I heard his dedication to true parents, his love and humbleness in his life. But I want to tell you some stories that he and I have. Okay. You know how everyone was saying he's so dedicated. So there's one dedication that lasted 20 years with him and I. Literally 20 years. He knew I cannot speak Korean. He knew. But he always spoke to me in Korean. Always. And all I did was say, yay, yay. It was 20 years. He never spoke to me in English for 20 years. That is dedication for one joke. That is really a dedication for that one joke. And I love him for that. He was a very, to me, he was very complex. Because I never knew what he thought of me. I mean, I knew he thought I was the most awesome guy, but I never knew what he thought of me. I always wanted to make him laugh, but he never laughed at my jokes. Really never laughed. But at the end, like Brandon said, he just wanted everyone to be happy. He just wanted everyone to be happy. He never wanted me to stress. And that's one great thing I learned from him. He taught me, don't stress out. There's no point of stressing out. It's just, life is beautiful. Life is beautiful. And that is the one thing that I could really take from what he taught me. Life is beautiful. There's no need to stress. There's no need to hate. No need to have anger. Just enjoy life. Enjoy each other. That's, yeah. Yeah. So, yay.
Thank you, most awesome guy. And so humble, too. Last but not least, let's give a really warm welcome to Mrs. Phyllis Kim.
This one? Well, wow, really overwhelmed. I'm really, really, truly overwhelmed, and I'm sure he's overwhelmed as well. But from all of your, thank you so much, Injim, and everybody who spoke today. I have to thank the committee who put this all together at the very last minute. I'm so sorry that when I came here from Korea, from my trip, actually, I should have said something, but it was such a fantastic, wonderful thing that they gave us in Korea. I didn't feel that I should be the one to initiate, a memorial even for him, even though I was asked several times, is there going to be a memorial? But I
I didn't feel that I could initiate it until the very last minute. And when Kanaya-san asked me, and anyway, this, so I really overwhelmed, and I'm really grateful. Of course, I'm grateful. And, the kind of love that I felt from all of you, this is, one family under God. This is it. We made it. That's what I feel. My family is, just part of it now. I mean, we're all, anyway, I was going to tell you, I worked with Charles so that we could show you. I wanted to share with you the night before he left. He knew he was, I didn't know. I wouldn't accept that he was going to go, because they said 3 months, and that was 9 months after, they said 3 months he's going to gone. But he was really fine. But no, not when he left. When he left, as we said, for a couple of months, actually, his face was literally, he couldn't smile, because I think he was in pain. But he didn't say he never said he was in pain until it got to the point where it was really so painful that we had to go to the hospital. So several nights in a row, we had to go to the hospital. He just said, we have to go to the hospital. And then I said, we have to stay there. And then, anyway, days passed, and it got to the point. I mean, we were, so fortunate. We had beautiful brothers and sisters who were 24-hour. I had to have 24-hour help, because I myself was not healthy enough to take care of him. And they were wonderful, really so much sincere care, not just, anyway, I was so grateful. He was so grateful. That's why. And there were also his friends and people around who were constantly coming, checking on him every day and asking how he's doing. And, that's why, I don't know, but he was always grateful. But the night before he left, he asked for paper and pen. And he had this, the day before, we had to put extra breathing device on him, so he couldn't talk. But he said, he paper and pen, and we gave it to him. He wrote, he has beautiful writing, but of course by this time he had so little energy, but he wanted to write, and to the people he loved, and especially those people who were, I mean, he could write to everybody, I mean, no, what I want to say is, especially the people who were right there all the time, he were in his mind. But anyway, I just wanted to write. He wrote to true parents. Second thing, he second page, to true parents. How can I fully express my heart of gratitude? Thank you. And then he wrote to Injinim, and he said, please guide your siblings well to the very end on a high note. He wrote to Injinim. And then you all know Dr. Young, right? Dr. Young. So I wanted to read that. He says, Dr. Young, I'm eventually leaving without having fully repaid the heart of gratitude and thanks I have for you. I shall live always carrying with me my heart of thanks and gratitude for you. Anyway, he was very attentive towards my husband, actually. Anyway, I could explain. And then I'm going to read this, what he wrote to me, I think all wives should feel that their husband, if they precede you, that they would write this, okay? This is my eternal love, Phyllis. How can I thank you enough? I am eternally indebted to you. I am the one who took the first steps towards our eternal home, but I know I will be followed by you soon. And then he said, It's a reality check.
Not too soon.
My mind is getting cloudy, so forgive me, he said. Anyway, you know, so I didn't write everything. I mean, I didn't read everything, but he wrote to all those who were right there. I mean, for those last several months that he could receive from them, he received a lot. He knew, he felt, and he wanted to thank them. He didn't have much energy, but boy, he kept writing, and he wrote very nicely. My kids, they didn't want me to read. They said these are personal notes to them, but actually they're not too personal. But anyway, I'm not going to read everybody's because they didn't want me to, so I have to follow that. Anyway, I'm so grateful. We're so grateful for all of you, and we have a big job to accomplish for this America and this world, and I really feel his spirit with me and pushing me, to accomplish, for anyway, no matter what true parents say, we have divine principle. We know we are the children of God. We have responsibility because we know it, because of divine principle. True parents have done so much already. They've done enough. We have to really be responsible. Most of us here, we've been around long enough. We have to be responsible and really do it. However I can do. Okay, anyway, everyone is unique. Everyone has. We hear the truth and we know what we have to do. I mean, no, I mean we will. What's that word? However, we know we hear the truth, but we will interpret it in my way. But the one way we know, we have to be people of love. That's all. It doesn't matter who we meet, where they came from, what they're doing. We have to be the ones who love them, give them, forgive them, whatever it takes, to be the best we can be. Anyway, that's what I think. You all will think whatever you think, but I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for Injin coming tonight and saying what it really helping us to again turn around, and true family is really so precious, really so precious, and we didn't take it seriously enough. No, we didn't think about it, how we could help them to grow in the way that they could be, powerful as we wanted them to be. We didn't do it. We failed. I failed. I'm sorry, not you. I failed. So anyway, I'm so grateful for the words that I heard tonight from all of you, the feeling of love that I feel from all of you. Thank you so much. And I want to do my best. Please, let's do it together, okay? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Kim. So happy you could be here with us. Before we have our closing segments, just one housekeeping mention. We have dinner prepared for everyone. Also some good news for those of you who are physically open. And I'm going to invite the front row. I was say all the special guests, but you're all special guests. But the front row to go through this door, and for those who know, you'll have dinner in what we call the baby room. That's for Sunday service. We have babysitting in there. So the front row can go in there and your dinner will be served. Everybody else, dinner will be in the coffee room. It's boxed, so you can bring it back in here to eat if you want. So now let's all stand for a closing song, and please remain standing. After the song, we'll have a, excuse me, a benediction and Okmanse from Reverend Hunmun Che from KEA. Thank you.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I am found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears released. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we will last days to sing God's praise. Then when we first begun, amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Please join me in prayer. Beloved Heavenly Parents and true parents, we offer our deepest gratitude. Today, on the 5th day of the 2nd month of the 13th year of Cheonilguk, we mark the 83rd day since your beloved son, Reverend Hyo Yul Kim, ascended to the spirit world. As we gather here for this memorial service, we give thanks for the special grace and blessing you have bestowed upon us through this occasion. We are especially grateful that you have brought us together to honor and remember the precious life and legacy of Reverend Kim, who dedicated his entire life as a devoted assistant, upholding the way of loyalty and filial piety to true parents. Heavenly Parents, Reverend Hyo Yul Kim offered his entire being to true parents. As the title of his autobiography, The Grace of Attendance Moments with True Parents, beautifully reflects, he never thought to exalt himself, but instead set an absolute example of faith, living only for true parents. He testified throughout his life that he had no regrets in walking the path of attending true parents. His life itself has become a profound lesson for all of us. Eternal Heavenly Parents, Reverend Kim's life has deeply moved and challenged us. Through every trial, he remained unwavering in his loyalty and dedication to true parents. He never wavered in his path of attendance. His steadfast heart, his deep sincerity, and his absolute devotion exemplify the true faith and the way of direct child of heavenly parents and true parents. Loving heavenly parents, as we gather here today, we feel the spiritual presence of Reverend Kim among us. Through 85 days have passed since his ascension on December 22nd, 2024. His spirit remains alive in the hearts of his beloved wife and all those who have shared deep bonds of heart with him. We sense that he is now working freely in the spirit world, assisting the providence on earth alongside true Father, and offering spiritual support for true Mother. This testify to the eternal nature of life that you, heavenly parents, and true parents have revealed to us. It affirms the unbroken bonds of true love that transcends time and space. Heavenly Parents, we thank you for granting us these final 30 days as we prepare for the entrance into Cheonwanggung and the Cheonil Sanctum. Inspired by Reverend Kim's life, we pledge to offer our utmost sincerity and effort during this period. We strive to fulfill our responsibilities and achievements. May our collective devotion contribute to the complete realization of Cheonwanggung. May it bring great joy to true parents. Loving Heavenly Parent, let today's memorial service not be a moment of sorrow, but rather a time to honor Reverend Kim's life of a pure heart. Let it be a moment to renew our determination to carry forward his spirit. May this gathering be a new beginning, inspiring us to deepen our understanding of your heart and the true parent's heart. May it encourage us to recommit ourselves to our responsibilities as the chosen people of the Cheonilguk era. As we engraved Reverend Kim's precious teaching into our heart, we pledge to live as true children, attending you and true parents' sustainability in this era of Cheonilguk. Every moment, we will strive to become filial sons and daughters who bring joy to true parents. We will contribute to the realization of the kingdom of heaven and earth, following the devoted path that Reverend Kim's exemplified. We will walk forward with unchanging loyalty and filial piety. Let this memorial service not be an end, but a new commitment and a fresh beginning filled with renewed hope. As we feel Reverend Kim's heartfelt prayers for us from the spirit world, we resolve to carry on his legacy. We pledge to become children who bring great joy to true parents. Heavenly parents and true parents, we ask that you pour your heavenly grace in blessing upon all who are gathered here tonight. May the path ahead be filled with victory and glory. May Reverend Kim's life and spirit remain eternally with us. May his face shine as an everlasting example for all of us. I report this prayer in the name of Hummun Che of the blessed family attending Holy Mother Han. A주. Okay. Next program is Ong Manse. But I really want to know one secret thing about Reverend Kim. Actually, I'm the ninth pastor of New York KA Church. Reverend Kim is fifth pastor of our New York KA Church. Tonight, Reverend Kim has invited me here to this program, so I'm very happy. So there is something I pray for often during my devotion time at Cheonwon Cheonsimwon. I ask that all the members who have gone to Spirit World before us come back to help our church, not just in New York KA, but throughout America. I pray that they return spiritually to support God's providence in the United States, the elder son nation. Today, as we honor Reverend Kim, I believe with all my heart that our prayers will be answered. So now I would like to invite everyone to join me in offering a joyful 엉만세 together, right? First, we will offer 엉만세 for our most honorable heavenly parents. Second, 엉만세 for our victorious true parents. And finally, 엉만세 for the great victory of Reverend Hyo Yul Kim's memorial service. I will say 엉만세 in Korean. Okay? Are you ready? 존귀하신 하늘 부모님 엉만세, 승리하신 참 부모님 엉만세, 김효율 목사님 추모 예배 대승리 엉만세. Thank you. Have a good night.
Okay, thank you all for joining with us to honor and celebrate the life of Peter Hyo Yul Kim.